lovely lager leaders, and welcome to episode 18 of the Lager Than Life podcast. I'm Sarav.
I'm Rory.
And listen, for those of you avid fans who I know we have, you're probably wondering, where the fuck have these two been?
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And no Lager Than Life.
Yeah, I know. We did take a break. What can I say? Listen, we're busy guys. We've got a lot going on.
Life happens. You know? It's actually pretty time consuming running a podcast.
Yeah, exactly. But, you know, we really had to drag ourselves out of bed this morning to come to the studio because we know that you fans are the hardcore fans, the ones who are listening.
We do this for you.
Yeah. We've before we dive straight in, we've got a couple of shout outs. Just to some avid fans. Niam, I know you said to me, Sarav, what's going on? I look forward to it. You've been really, really busy this week, and you said you were looking forward to a few episodes to listen to on your way to work. So love for that.
Big up,
that
Niam.
was really nice.
On his drive to work.
Drive to work, exactly. And then we've also got a shout out to Mehma. So, you know, my friend Hemma's little sister. We know you're an avid fan. We know you listen. Hemma expressed it to us. So shout out to you as well. Thank you for being, you know, our fan all this time. And we promise you when we blow, which is going to happen, I promise you, you know, you're there for the ride as well. You know, when we start doing live shows, merch,
free tickets,
all
for
of
you.
that. Yeah, you're coming along with us. We'll send you some free merch and all of that when it happens. But, you know, give it time. It's only episode 18 right now.
Yeah, we're a little bit early to be talking merch, but you know.
No, I promise you. Listen, just so you know, one of the first merches we're going to do are the beer glasses, the fucking pint glasses.
Love that.
With our logo, and I can't wait for that. But, you know, rebrand soon come as well. I think that's the next thing.
Agreed, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
But cool, without further ado, we know what we like to dive in. So
it's beer of the week time.
It's beer of the week time.
So Sarah, we've got a special one today. It's actually not special. I just got it from the nearest Tesco Metro.
Yeah, go on.
So today we've got, drum roll please, Sarah, a St. Austell Proper Job Powerfully Hopped IPA, bottle conditioned.
Wow.
Whatever the fuck that means.
Wow. Okay, cool.
So the description for this one is packed full of citrus, pineapple and grapefruit, resinous flavours with a fine crisp bitter finish. Proper Job is brewed with a blend of imported American hops. Nice.
Okay.
They're all fucking citrus at this point, aren't they?
Yeah, honestly, we should have been called IPA Than Life or something.
Yeah.
doesn't sound as catchy, does it? So yeah, we'll start with this. But no, bro, I'm looking forward to it. Let's try it. Let's give it a go.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers, mate.
It's episode 18.
Episode 18.
Okay, now we've been doing this a while, haven't we?
Nah, man.
I don't love it.
Doesn't slap like an IPA usually does, actually. That doesn't taste like an IPA.
No, it tastes
Tastes a bit like.
do you know what? It tastes weirdly strong.
It is. So it's a 5.5%
Yeah.
bottle. For, you know, there's not much for those of you listening on audio. There's not really
not
much going on with the logo. It's a white label.
I'm glad I didn't get 2 of these each.
Yeah. Trust. But yeah, it's white label. Just literally says Proper Job and then powerfully hopped.
I'm going to go straight in and give it a. I wouldn't order it again. Wouldn't order it in a pub. Probably give it a 3.5.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what I've noticed? I always used to say you're quite lenient, but actually you're just extreme.
There's never been any 5s or 6s.
yeah. But you know what? I'm glad. What was yours? 3.5.
3.5. Yeah.
I'm actually going to go for a 4.
Okay.
And a half.
4.5.
4.5.
So we're giving it a 4.
We'll give it a 4. I think that's where this beer actually.
Is it one of our worst, you think?
It is probably up there. It's not as bad as that raspberry beer.
Yeah, definitely not as bad as that one.
Grim.
All right then. So Proper Job, you've got 4.
You should rename themselves.
To Shit Job.
Yeah. Facts, man. Honestly. Yeah. But yeah, I was looking forward to this one. It's summer. You know, you like drinking beers in the sun. Some of you are probably noticing that. Some of you, the 50 of you who watch, to be fair, they're gassed. We got over 50 views in our last video.
Actually,
mate, fucking
it's about the little wins, mate.
Bro, trust, love facts. But you might be noticing that I'm wearing shorts. I've got the pins out.
Mate, love it.
Yeah,
mate,
yeah.
You know it's summer when you could go to work in a t-shirt.
Facts, man.
It's the best feeling.
I unfortunately can't, given my profession. However, I can imagine it must be.
Yeah. One day.
One day, maybe. One day, fingers crossed. But yeah, no, it's summer. We're loving the weather. It's a bit hot though, bro. I stepped outside today for like walking to the station. 7-minute walk. I was sweating when I got into the train.
Oh, it's horrible, isn't it?
I am a sweaty guy.
You get really conscious that like you just go into work and you stink.
Bro, trust, man. I use 2 layers of deodorant every morning. So I use Mitchum and then I use like a Dove.
You the
Was it
double
Dove? Sure.
deo.
Yeah, of course.
Really?
Bro, Mitchum is supposed to be like a masking one, is to stop you from sweating. But as I keep on telling everyone, I know I don't look. This is the thing. I know when you look at me,
Yeah.
as cocky as this sounds,
You don't look like a sweaty
I
guy.
don't look like
No,
a
you
sweaty
don't look like
dude,
you
do
sweat.
I?
No.
I don't look like a guy who's like.
You don't strike me as like a man with a sweat patches.
Bro, I can't lie.
Really?
This is butters, yeah, but I'm gonna out myself, bro. I've ruined white t-shirts.
No.
Because of the sweat marks.
Irremovable stains.
Irremovable stains. It's disgusting, but at least I
I
don't.
can't like that. It's disgusting.
But at least I don't like look like a sweaty dude.
No, you don't. That's the main thing. As long as you don't look
Trust,
like a
man,
sweat.
like-
Yeah.
Now some people they look like they sweat. That's not. Do you know what I mean, though?
When you just look at it, you're like, I just know you
Do you
sweat.
know what I mean, though?
Yeah,
There's some
yeah.
people who it is part of their brand.
No amount of deodorant could stop you from looking like a sweaty
Yeah,
man.
exactly. But like, thankfully, I feel like I don't look like a sweat. But anyways, that's my summer rant for you. But bro, should we like
Let's
dive
get
in?
into it. So, first, like bit of news. This was about a week ago.
About a week ago.
But this to me was the most blown away by a piece of technology I've ever seen since the very first iPhone in 2008.
Yeah.
So Apple have launched the Apple Vision Pro,
Mad.
which is their first ever augmented reality headset. Right, so this thing you put on, it's got a 4K OLED display in each eye. Right, and usually with headsets you have to control them with like a stick or like this one. You put it on, all the Apple icons come into your field of vision, and literally you select it with your eyes, and then when it literally moves over it, and then you pinch with your fingers, and it selects an icon. This shit, did you watch the video? This shit blew my fucking mind. Like, I actually think that this is like the next. I think it's a special moment when Apple do it, right? Because what Apple do is they will see like a new technology, and they'll bide their time. And they'll wait for Samsung to do it. They'll wait for Google to do it. And then they'll think, right, we're going to perfect it. Because when we release it, it's going to be perfect, right? And this is exactly what's happened with this augmented reality headset. It is absolutely insane. And it was just showing like some of the applications of it. And one of them was, like, imagine you're on a plane, right? What you can do, there's a dial on it where it turns up the immersion, right? So let's say you're watching a film, right, in your seat. You can turn up the immersion dial and it completely gets rid of the whole surroundings. So you can literally be watching, the new season of whatever your favorite Netflix show is on a beach, but you're on a plane. Can you imagine that? This is insane. And then like the other application they had was you could be watching something outside and you can have 100-foot screen in front of you.
I saw that.
People are not going to like.
Cool.
Imagine you don't have to go to the cinema anymore. You can just sit at home.
Yeah.
You put this thing on, and you just watch a massive screen in front of you,
bro.
And it's 4K in each eye. Like this is going to be like perfect quality as well.
Yeah.
This is in like you don't realize how big this step forward this is. It is insane.
It's huge, man. Imagine like instead of going to the cinema, if you all want to watch you want to watch a film with your friends, you can like do that. You can like. That would be a really, really cool setting if like you can kind of join other people when they're wearing the headset.
They'll definitely do that.
Of course,
they're
going to do that.
But you could just do it outside in your garden. Like it's so cool.
Yeah.
The only problem with this, it's £2,800.
Yeah,
like that's a lot.
That is
a lot. But like I think when this becomes cheaper, which it will, this is going to change everything. Like even the small things, right? So for example, it can pair with your MacBook, right? So let's say I'm on my MacBook here right now. You put this on, and it just creates a whole nother monitor display, and it just seamlessly connects between the two. Or for example, if you're playing your PlayStation 5, you don't need a TV anymore. Just have the PlayStation 5, connect it to this, and then
Can you do that?
Yeah, can do it. Yeah, that was part of the showcase. And you can make the screen as big as you want. You're just sat there playing it. That is insane.
Yeah, you're right. Because do you think they'll ever get rid of the need for like people to own TVs?
I think that's what this might be coming to.
That's insane.
It literally gets rid of the need for it because TVs, like, in terms of your interior design of a house, they're not very pretty, are they? They're quite ugly to have like a big, fat, massive TV. Do you know what I mean?
What?
No, obviously that's fine. They make them look nice, but like, I do think that like eventually, as this becomes more mainstream, people aren't gonna have TVs anymore.
What about when you've got like guests come around? It assumes that everyone needs to have one.
It does.
Why have Apple never made a TV?
There's no point, I guess. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not sure why.
Do you know what I mean? You need to eat it.
Yeah, I guess they're not like. Yeah, I don't know actually.
But then again, how many?
I guess Apple are always trying to innovate, right? With TVs, there's not that
Much to
much you can
innovate.
innovate with. It's just like
And then
better
also,
image quality.
if you think about the biggest TV brands, they aren't like computers or monitors like Sony. It's a completely different thing, isn't it?
Exactly. Yeah.
It's a completely different thing. I'm
industry.
thinking about it.
Mm.
I think it's obviously really cool, and like 100% at some point in the future, I'm going to buy one. I don't necessarily think it is that expensive given what it is.
I think given the technology that it's doing, like, mate, I'm not gonna lie, I'm fucking going to Central
To try them out.
I'm gonna fucking try this
Yeah,
shit
of course,
out.
of
I'm gonna make a
course,
day of it. I'll spend all day there.
Yeah, of course. Because given what the technology is, I actually think it's probably quite reasonably priced. Think about how
For
much
what
their
it can
Macs
do.
are.
That's true. Yeah, it's like a computer.
It's a computer. It's a computer. Basically.
That's very true, actually.
But it's way more intense. Yeah, if you think
Yeah.
about getting a huge Mac, that costs you like $2,000 or more.
That's so true, actually.
Yeah, I don't actually think relatively it's that. I think they've actually done quite well there. So I don't know if it will come down in price.
I tell you what was funny though.
Go on.
So they showcase like the FaceTime feature. So it's really cool. You know, like it's like almost like Tony Stark and Iron Man. And you've got like all the images of people, right? And you're having these big conference calls, and it's like they're there in person, right? The problem is what's filming your face. So what it does, it uses the cameras on the inside of the headset to sort of take a sort of rough estimate of your face, and then it projects back to the other callers like a sort of weird, like animated version of your face, and it kind of looks like you. It's a little bit like Uncanny Valley sort of thing. But dude, in the showcase, it honestly looks like, you know, like when Shrek, when he was a human. It looks like that. It looks absolutely terrifying.
They will get better at that,
but it'll get better.
And I think, like,
exactly.
Do you think Apple might be trying to compete with like the metaverse?
100%. Yeah.
Because like definitely. They are, because they're almost forcing with that feature that is going to do so much for businesses and stuff that work internationally to be able to facilitate like in-person meetings, that Apple's going to take over like all the industries. So at my job at the moment, we don't use Apple computers. Windows. We don't use Macs. Yeah, we use Windows. But like, this is obviously way better. But Oculus is way...
You don't have to do any in-person meetings anymore.
Oculus is way cheaper though.
That's true.
Windows in general is cheaper.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's exciting. I'll tell you, sorry to be morbid, someone's going to die.
Just from like walking into traffic.
Yeah, of course they are. Because there's going to be people who leave their house who are going to be like, oh, fuck people. Yeah, just switching ultimate immersion on. Yeah, you've got stupid people out there who are just going to do that shit.
People will walk into traffic.
You're going to have people who are using it when they're driving, like
when they're drunk.
Yeah,
in the streets. That'd be so fun.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Can you imagine? As you said, bro, we've spoken about this before it became a thing, and it's like, imagine if you're like on like one of those e-scooters. You're not supposed to do them when you're drunk.
And you could basically say to Siri, make this road like Rainbow Road from Mario Kart.
Facts, man. Do that. Or like, just anything. Like, bro, play Mario Kart.
I'm sure they've got like precautions to stop people from doing
I don't know. Do they? Because if you think about all the electric scooters and stuff, they say you can't use it when you're drunk, and then they give you a little quiz.
Oh yeah, this happened to me in the weekend.
Yeah, exactly. Bro, yeah. They give you a little quiz, and it's like, are you going to do this when you're drunk? Like, no. I'm drunk. I'm not stupid.
I'm going to do it.
Still know the answer.
And then you tap it and you go, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah, trust. Bro, now it doesn't even quiz me. I just scan it and I go, honestly, and it is dangerous. I have got on there hammered before.
Yeah,
honestly,
same.
Swaying all over. I should get arrested.
I deserve it.
Yeah, bro. Facts, honestly. Yeah. But, so I don't know about but there's going to be some kind of regulation that's put in place or something.
Definitely. What does worry me, this is what I'll ask Pauline, but like, what does worry me is, you know how like right now, like our iPhone, like we have like an emotional attachment to our iPhone. Like if you have a day without your phone, you do feel a bit like, fuck, I feel like I'm missing something. And like, you look at like Instagram, you look at TikTok, like these apps, we've spoken about this before on the pod, but these apps are designed to like keep you on and keep you as like that dopamine up as much as possible, right? Can you imagine TikTok on this?
Oh my gosh.
Or Instagram on this?
If
like this stuff is good, like this stuff is going to be like what it is now, but times 1,000 in terms of the dopamine levels you're going to get. And I'm worried that if your life's really shit, right, and you're on the scroll hole 10 hours a day, right? And maybe like and you get this headset, you're not going to want to leave because you're going to be so this. What I'm worried about is detachment from reality, because when this augmented version is more is more like enjoyable and pleasant than your actual life.
Yeah. Well, the thing is that already exists, right? I think it might lead to like more of that with more people and make people more vulnerable because it will make things all the more immersive. Yeah. I was gonna say, like, bro, with the way like AI and shit's going and all of that, with these Apple glasses as well,
together,
there's gonna be people who literally don't try and find partners. They'll just be sat at home, right? They've got the emotional attachment with an AI speaking to them.
They'll just say what they want to hear.
Trust. There's already like virtual reality porn out there. They're just going to be people wearing these glasses, doing this virtual which is going to be super immersive. Can you imagine? And yeah, they're just not going to find
this literally is Black Mirror.
It is Black Mirror.
We're here.
We're there. It's almost like an external Neuralink. Can you imagine when all of this stuff comes into play, like Neuralink,
AI,
and then these like VR glasses? It's actually.
It scares me.
Fucked.
But also excited. I'm 100% going to try it.
Oh, yeah, obvious, yeah. Bro.
I was there, like, this is my reaction. I was like, yo, this looks like fucking sick. And then I was like, oh, there are some, ethical concerns here. And then I was like, but this looks fucking sick.
Yeah. Facts. Honestly. No, because I remember when you sent it to me and I looked it up and with my roommate and my flatmate, and then he was like, oh, like, I'm not going to get it. Like, it's so expensive. And I was just thinking to myself, like, you're obviously going to get it. Like, this
100%.
He's like, oh, nah, but I don't suck Apple's dick that much. And I'm like, you've literally got an iPhone and you've got a Mac.
Yeah.
Like, literally, like, yeah. I am like an Apple dick rider, bro. Honestly, at anything they release, I'm just so on it. Like,
I won't get this one.
No.
Because the thing is, this is the first version, right? But I think, like, compare the first ever iPhone to like even just like the iPhone 5.
Yeah.
It was like leaps and bounds improvement.
Yeah.
Imagine this in 5 years' time.
Facts,
man. They're going to release one a year. It's going to be insane.
It's going to be crazy. What? Yeah. Not to dwell too much, but now I'm thinking about, like, what's the future of iPhone really? Like,
what with this thing?
No, but just iPhones now. Like, because this could in theory like replace your iPhone as well, no?
I don't know. Will it replace an iPhone?
Because, bro, you could literally wear that all day, right? It's clear glasses. You'll be able to have like a sunglasses tint. You'll constantly have shit. You'll have like the weather forecast, like here in one corner. You'll have maps in the other corner, so you know where you're going. You could pick up calls. It's got like the headphone things, which I don't even know how the headphones work. I assume
spatial audio. So you know how like it's basically like the rim here, and it just basically. Have you seen cyclists wear those weird earphones before, where it's not directly in your ear, but it sort of blows it in the right way?
Well, so I was going to say,
it's like that, basically.
Aiden, who you obviously know is hearing impaired, so he used to have these headphones which vibrate on like the bones in your ear, so they don't go in your ear, but they go like here. You can't hear them at all, but it just like sends them.
That's crazy.
Which is crazy. I think it's probably kind of a bit like that, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't know. I just feel like, in a way, it could almost replace phones, because
I think it could get, if they become small enough, like the glasses you're wearing now.
Yeah.
Then I think that's probably the future.
Yeah, man, for sure. And then computers and everything. That's very cool though.
Yeah.
You wouldn't need to leave your house with like anything in your pocket.
No one's gonna steal your glasses. Do you know what I mean?
Trust. What they're gonna do? Rip them off your face?
Yeah. But yeah, it's exciting but scary.
Yeah, man.
But yeah. So. Another big thing I saw over the weekend, a sick film.
Okay, yeah, go on.
I saw Across the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, man. Oh, I'm dying to watch that.
Mate, it is insane. It's so good. So you're a fan of the first one?
I loved the first one.
Honestly, it's if you like the first one, this one just takes the existing storyline and just like makes it bigger in every single way. I don't think it's as good as the first one, purely because it feels like, similar to how Dune was, it very much feels like a part one. Honestly, I was watching this film and I was just, the whole time, I was like, how the fuck did they do it? Like, the animation is a massive step up from the first one. There's so many different art styles. Like also it's dealing with like the multiverse, and each different Spider-Man from different universes has a completely different art style. And you're watching it and you just think, I have not a clue how they could, I'm surprised it only took 5 years to make. Like this looks like it should have taken 10 years. And like some of the, like every single frame you watch is like a painting. Like genuine, not even exaggerated. There's one scene. It's not a spoiler. There's one scene where you've got Spider-Man, there's Miles Morales, and you've got Gwen, and they're obviously both spider people, and they're like sitting upside down on like a gargoyle, obviously because they've got powers, they can do that. But basically, it's from their perspective, and then they see like a whole upside down view of New York. And it's just the most insane. Like I would honestly have it as a screensaver. It looks insane. You'll know what I mean when you watch it. It's so good, dude.
I need to watch it, man.
And the soundtrack is banging. The soundtrack is done by Metro Boomin. They've released an album. Like I'm listening to that. It's fucking great. Even just like not many people speaking about it, but like the score. So like just the normal like orchestral stuff is so good. Like it creates an insane vibe, and like it's so good. And it ends on a bit of a cliffhanger. Bro, I was like so annoyed.
Yeah.
The next one comes out in 2 years. I was like, no!
I need to watch it.
It's so good. It's honestly insane.
Yeah, because like, obviously, I'm not the biggest Marvel fan. I never really got into it, but I remember someone's like, okay, like, you just got to watch this film. So we sat down. I'm like, I really want to watch it. What is the first one called? Into the Spider-Verse?
Into the Spider-Verse, yeah.
Oh my God. It blew my mind.
So
it was just the most artistic, cool shit I've ever seen. Everything worked so well. Like the soundtracks worked with the scene so well. You know the "What's Up Danger" scene?
Yes, yeah, perfect, classic scene. Yeah,
God,
love it.
I can't think of like a better song to fit that moment where Miles Morales just fucking
jumps
takes
off
that
the
leap.
building. Oh,
Bro.
It's so good.
And
then you have the shot where it's like he's sort of upside down, but it's going up, mate.
And then
it's
it kind of spins and shit.
Yeah.
And then like he saves like whatever. Saves the world, defeats his villain, and then he's just dapping off everyone. He's just like his own Spider-Man, and he's just like cool with the police. He's obviously his dad.
Yeah.
It's just fucking
mate.
sick,
Honestly, you would love the second one.
Yeah,
it's so good.
I'm so
good.
gassed, and honestly, I've just like not really seen an animation style like the first one either. Like it was just.
Do you know what's really interesting? So since that Spider-Verse in 2018, animation's like completely changed. So like I feel like before that, I mean I might be wrong, but before that, I feel like animation was very much the Pixar style, that sort of CG 3D kind of style. It was that for decades, right?
Yeah.
And then this came out, and it was like, whoa, this actually looks like you're watching a comic book, and it was kind of this weird animation style that had not been done before. And then since then, you've had all these like new projects. You've had Arcane on Netflix, which was a massive hit. That was a sort of similar kind of art style. Also, trailer came out recently for the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles film. Exact same animation style as this. So I honestly think that this film and this franchise has brought in like a new art style. And I actually think Pixar and Disney are probably actually quite worried right now, because the last couple of Pixar films have flopped. You had Lightyear flopped. You also had another Disney film which was like the Strange World or something that also flopped. Like people don't care about that kind of animation style anymore. And then you've got this that comes out which has crushed it at the box office. And I think they're probably thinking, shit, we need to actually like switch it up and stuff. Because the thing is, if you're going to watch an animated film over a live action film, you want to, which is why I think the Spider-Verse films are so good, is that you're seeing stuff that could not be possible in live action. You could not have the same images and the same storyline if it wasn't in an animated medium, which is why I think like when you've got like Pixar just doing animated stuff, which you could just easily just do in live action, like a Lightyear, it's just not as engaging.
I never quite understood why Disney moved over to live action, to be fair.
Because even up until like the 90s with Lion King, it was 2D.
Yeah, man.
And then one day they were like, fuck it, let's just...
And they just want to remake all these films and do them as live action. It's like, why? Like, just keep them... If we're going to redo it, cool, make the animation more complex. Like, you don't need to...
Exactly,
because those films were made fucking ages ago. All the original kind of Disney films. I say ages.
Yeah,
what, like
do it
70s,
with like a
80s,
different an art style, different, like, yeah.
Yeah, man, exactly. They remade, like, and it's
like
just...
even The Lion King. It's like, why would I want to watch a line-for-line, scene-for-scene remake of a classic, right? But all the animals are less expressive than they were in the original one.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Like, what's the point? What is the point?
Exactly, because they're fucking animals. They can't
it's like they're animals.
Yeah, they can't express, like...
It's like this lion just like looking like a lion, like crying, and it's like
just going like this,
like, oh, I'm really upset,
moving their mouth, bro. Scar from Love Island, fam. He used to make some wicked faces. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you could tell he was a villain, bro. Everything about him.
Did you just say Scar from Love Island?
No, did I?
You said Scar from Love Island.
Sorry, Love Island on the brain. Bro, Scar from fucking Lion King, bro. Yeah, do you know what I mean, though? He had, like, the eyes and, like...
Jeremy Irons voiced him, mate. Insane. He's so good.
I just feel like, fuck Disney, man. Yeah, cool. Cool.
Yeah.
This better make Disney and Pixar step
I think they're shaking right now.
their game up.
I think, yeah.
No, but again, they make different types of films as well. Like, I swear, what was that other film? Inside Out? Wasn't that a hit?
Oh, Inside Out. That was all right,
And
actually. That was a
Soul?
hit, yeah. Oh, don't get me started on Soul,
I haven't
Sarav.
even seen it, bro.
You've not seen Soul?
No, but I just know these films were hits.
Sarav?
Yeah.
I saw that in lockdown. It's the Pixar's best film. It's a hot take, and everyone's gonna say, "Oh, Toy Story 3 or Toy Story or Bugs." No, Soul had like a profound effect on me. You would love it.
No,
Go home. No, do you know what? We're gonna end the podcast right here. You're gonna go home. It's honestly so good. That's probably Pixar's film where they were like, "This is for adults. This isn't for kids."
No, I heard.
Right? It's like themes of like life and death and regret and it's
Yeah, no,
so
I need
good.
to watch it.
Yeah, I hope this Spider-Verse film, so back to Spider-Verse, I hope it gets nominated for Best Picture at the Oscars and not just Best Animated Picture. Because I think it's time to start seeing animation as a different medium, but I think it should still be in the same category as other films, is my opinion on that.
I was going to say, I don't know if I agree with you, but in a way I kind of do agree with you because of the amount of graphics that is used in...
Effort as well.
Well, graphics that's used in like actual like films, like filming, non-animation films. The amount of graphics that's actually used, like nothing's really real anymore. Like
exactly, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, even like TV shows and films that you don't think have lots of CGI, like The Crown, for example, filled with CGI.
Yeah.
Filled with it. Like they just do it in post and they just whack it. Sometimes it's cheaper to do that than make an actual set.
Yeah, for sure. Also looks better.
Yeah.
No, like facts. Do you know what I mean? Like if you compare the original Planet of the Apes, I think it was the series. It was just people wearing costumes of monkeys. It looked shit. And then you got the CGI. What's his name again?
You got Andy Serkis playing Caesar.
Caesar.
And you're there, be like, that is an ape.
Fam,
that's an ape.
That's what I mean.
That's an ape.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. So obviously it's better to do it in post. It looks way better as well. So yeah, I do kind of see what you mean. Even something like Avatar. Like Avatar is like literally the whole thing is just fucking post. You've got people there.
The film should be called "Let's Fix It in Post."
Yeah.
Just jump in a pool. We'll fix it in post.
Do you know what I mean though? Like,
yeah.
So I'm inclined to agree. It depends. I don't know, because do you have like a director for animated films?
Yeah, but it's just a different process, right? So they'll do like storyboards, and then they'll animate it, and then they'll get the voice actors. But you've still got the director being like commenting. Oh, do you mind like the director's job is to get the best performances out of the actors.
Okay.
And to be like the sort of have the main vision of the film. So yeah, the director's still saying to, Haley Steinfeld, oh yeah, you want to deliver that line a little bit different, or maybe a bit more emotion or a bit less emotion.
And I guess they're still controlling like the animation.
And the animation and the general vibe they want to go for. And they'll say to the animators, I want to get a sense of this in this thing. And then so it still is very much like a film, if not more effort going into it than a live action one.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, there you go. Let's see. I need to watch it. I'll make a point of going to watch it.
I'm intrigued to hear your thoughts.
Yeah, for sure. But so obviously some other old news, but I guess I still like talk about it because obviously everyone's got a strong opinion, but whatever. So you know about Mizzy, yeah? I
don't know loads about it. I hadn't heard of Mizzy until this controversy, but give me like a rundown. I'm not really.
So like I remember seeing some of his earlier videos on TikToks. His name is Bakari Bronze Constantine Agaro.
Okay.
And he's created this character, this online persona called Mizzy. Like I remember some of his earlier videos. Some of them were quite funny. He would just like take like Boris bikes or whatever into like Tesco and just cycle around and shit. Do you know what I mean? Like
silly
dumb
stuff.
Shit like that. But then obviously there was loads and loads of controversy recently. So he did a bunch of crazy stunts. So like he started like he like went into like the what's it called? The operating room of a train. Like an overground train. Yeah, like went inside there, just started screaming like we outside, and shit like that. And I was just like, okay, I mean that's kind of fucked. Then he did this thing where he like leapfrogged over a Jewish guy. There's a lot of emphasis over the fact that he's Jewish, but I don't think that was Mizzy's. It was just a guy.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. He like stole some woman's dog. Like in the park, he just went and grabbed some woman's dog and just sprinted off with the dog. Yeah. He went and returned the dog.
That is quite peak though.
Yeah, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's when you're kind of like, I'm not so sure that is funny. That's kind of traumatic. Like to
I feel like a prank is only really a prank when the victim of the prank laughs about it afterwards.
Yeah, afterwards,
if someone nicked my dog for a period of time and then gave it back, I
I
wouldn't
don't
be
think
that
I'd
happy.
find that.
Yeah, I wouldn't
I
be
don't
that
think that's
happy
a
about
prank.
it.
That's
Yeah.
you
It's
returning
harassment,
something you
yeah.
stole from me, basically. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but then what like really set it off is basically he walked into some random person's home. He used to call it like walking into strangers' homes. Walked into some random person's home, like just in through their front door with his
What?
boys. Yeah.
How many of them were there?
I don't know actually how many of them there were. Like
How
him
did
and
they
a
break
cameraman.
in? How did they get in
Don't
there?
know. They just walked in the front door.
Jesus.
And yeah, then obviously the police got called, I think, because the guy was like, "We've got kids in here. Get the fuck up." Can you imagine some random person just being in your house? What would you do?
That's fucked.
I feel like you would instantly call the police, or you'd go on the aggressive and be like, "Get the fuck out of my house."
Grab the cricket
He's
bat.
so lucky that he didn't get like injured or hit.
Yeah.
And all he got, so anyway, he ended up getting a CBO, which is, I think it's like the equivalent of an ASBO now, it's criminal behavior order. And yeah, and he got arrested again after this whole walking into someone's house thing for breaching his parole, and like he got told he's not allowed to trespass on public property anymore. But yeah, he's got a trial date in July. But yeah, man, he went on Piers Morgan.
I did see that.
And like he just did not articulate himself well in the slightest.
Didn't come across well.
Nah, man. I mean, it's when you can really tell someone's age and maturity level, right? I mean, he's 18, but honestly, like you can kind of fucking tell. And like, I don't know. He went on another talk show as well, and he got kicked. He didn't get kicked off. He walked off. I don't necessarily think it was fair for the reaction of the host. I forgot the host's name to react in the way he did, but basically said you gave my guest a threatening look.
Yeah, that's not really a...
Yeah, I don't know if he did give a threatening look. But yeah, what's your opinion on... I don't want to know about your opinion on Mizzy, because I think I know your opinion. He's an idiot, yeah? But what's your opinion on him getting all the publicity thereafter and essentially giving him a platform? He went on Piers Morgan Uncensored, and he went on this other talk show or radio show, whatever it was. You know, I'm curious to hear your opinion, because part of me is like, why the fuck is this guy getting a platform? You know, where he's there in like showcasing himself essentially, and then it's just all of his pranks were then advertised to like people and potentially encouraging
and got more engagement.
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the reasons this whole Mizzy thing blew up, is because he went on Piers Morgan and made a fool of himself. I agree, everyone thinks
didn't he come up with like a big monologue about how like that was his whole plan, was to just show people?
Yeah, he
basically said like, oh, like this proves my point, is that like people will latch on to, you know, like a young black male doing stuff like this, and that's what people want to see, and I've just proven everyone's point. Like it was like almost like I've planned this whole thing. So
he absolutely didn't, man. Sorry, I don't believe that he's smart enough to, and I still don't really understand the point he's trying to prove in that.
Well, I think ultimately, if you're doing crazy, stupid stuff like that no one else is doing because they're not stupid, right? The media are going to pay attention and they're going to want to interview you. Like the media interview all sorts of odd people who do stupid things because ultimately they want to understand what are the reasons you do what you do.
But I don't think
you can't blame the media for taking an interest and asking Mizzy to explain himself or at least make an apology on air for the actions that he's done. It's not there. Yeah, they are giving them a platform, but
I don't know if I agree with you, man.
It's like you interview anyone who's done something wrong. You're doing it because you want to. It's like a journalistic practice.
What are you achieving by asking him what he's doing? Like, what are you actually achieving by asking him, like, oh, like, why did you do this? Like, what's he going to tell you? He's either going to say, oh, it was a mistake, and then what? And then you're just going to be like, you're right, it was a mistake. Or he's going to say, I thought it was funny, and I stand by what I did, and you're going to be like, well, it was a mistake, and you're wrong. So I don't really understand what the purpose of getting him on was. Like, it was essentially to batter him in public, which is fine, but equally, by doing that, you're giving that person more attention and more fame. Now, more people know who Mizzy is, more people might be interested to see what he does. And it's like, I don't know, it's a double-edged sword, because on the one hand, it's like, that's good, it means that he could get a legitimate following, become a good person, and then he's kind of become a success story from something bad he's done. But then equally, it's like, if you really want to punish someone, just fucking block them out.
Yeah.
Just take them.
As a broadcast journalist, your job's not to punish people.
You're right, but
It's the same reason why the BBC do an interview with Andrew Tate. What's that doing? It's giving Andrew Tate more exposure, but that's what journalists do. They ask questions. For controversial people, and do you know why? People will watch the BBC or people will watch Talk TV.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough, man.
What it comes down to, but it's the jobs of the police to punish him, not the journalists.
Yeah, no, absolutely, I get what you're saying, but then at the same time, I think the talk shows he went on and the journalists he spoke to, such as Piers Morgan, aren't the right people, because essentially what they were doing was trying to punish him. We know what Piers Morgan's like. He's not just like
people for a living.
Exactly. He's not like a good question. He's not like Louis Theroux. He tries to take a very like objective standpoint, ask very like questions in a non-threatening, non-aggressive way. Exactly.
Yeah.
Piers Morgan's just so fucking aggressive. So it was almost like he invited Mizzy on just to fucking destroy him. But then again, I guess that's what Piers Morgan does.
He does that on everything, doesn't he?
Yeah. But I don't know, man. So yeah, that's basically Mizzy.
Yeah.
Like whatever. Like, part of me is curious to see what he does next. But
I think he's probably had his moment of fame, and that's it.
Yeah, man. There's so many people who just.
Well, it's just like most people we speak to are like, well, he's a fucking idiot, isn't he? Like,
yeah.
I think that people will just catch on to the fact that this guy's an idiot and a moron, and
he's got a kid.
He's got a kid.
He's got a kid.
Shit.
Yeah.
Bloody hell. How old's the kid?
I don't know. But yeah, he's got a kid.
11.
yeah. But yeah, man, that's Mizzy. Cool, man. Something else I wanted to speak about, which has been popping off on my TikTok recently, is about this UFO thing in Las Vegas. So, bro, I know I told you about it, but I don't think you saw what I was referring to.
I watched the video, and I think I watched the wrong one.
Nah, man. Okay, so basically, there was this UFO thing, this whole incident that went fucking viral. So basically, on the 1st of May, something green fell out the sky. There was a flash, and there's videos of this. I've actually seen 2 separate videos of it from 2 separate angles, of this green flash falling out the sky. This was in Vegas on the 1st of May, right? The police were then called after a family basically claimed that there was this huge like creature in their backyard, like a 10-foot tall creature, basically, is how they described it. And then basically there was some body cam footage from the police that was released. You can't see anything. I'm telling everyone that now, but there's no way, I promise you, if you watch the body cam footage, there's no way there's acting, that people are acting.
Really?
No way whatsoever that people are acting. I'm not saying it was definitely what they said it was, and it was a UFO and there was some creature. I'm just saying they saw something. They might have seen something that wasn't it, but it was genuine, man. Like, they genuinely thought they had seen like a UFO, and they thought they'd seen like aliens, bro.
Really?
Yeah.
Was this the one? I think I might have seen it. Was there like, you could see like sort of eyes and like some sort of figure?
Yeah, but I think that's just conjecture, like, I don't think that's real. But yeah, basically, it was released, and as I said, I think the accounts of the family were genuine. Here's where things are interesting. There was some body cam footage that got redacted because apparently it's like showing someone's backyard. But like,
bollocks.
Do you know what I mean?
Shit.
And that's the reason why private property. But then, who knows, man?
That's scary,
and you can even hear the like, excitement of the police, because they're like, yo, like, my partner saw it as well, and I got this call. And you can see him just stopping people in the street, like some person's driving past, like, yo, like, I know this might sound crazy, but did you see something fall from the sky? Like something green, like a flash. It's spooky, man. But like,
and they all like, yeah, I did.
No, I don't know. I don't know if they saw it. But there's multiple accounts of this thing, and like even the police person, his partner saw it as well. Fuck. Yeah, man. It kind of reminds me. I know I've spoken about
UFOs just are real.
Sorry?
They are real.
What, alien?
Yeah.
100%. I think it's stupid.
100%. You heard about this David Grush stuff?
Wait. I did.
Go on, sorry, yeah.
I did. But I was going to say this whole...
They must be related.
No,
like, why are they happening in the same, like...
No, trust me, man. But we're going to come into that.
Okay, go on.
Because I've got, like, a bunch of theories. That's also, like, where Area 51 is. So I think there's some alien... Not some alien... there's obviously some shit that's been tested by, like, the government and stuff. But the whole green flash thing falling... I know I've spoken about this before, but it reminded me massively of this thing called Fire in the Sky. So, Fire in the Sky was basically a film made about something called The Walton Experience. Sorry. Fire in the Sky was a film made about a book written called The Walton Experience. The Walton Experience was written by a guy called Travis Walton, and it is basically about his experience of like being abducted by aliens. So his account was basically on the 5th of November 1975. It was in Arizona, which is another desert state which is on the west side of America. I actually think it might border Nevada.
Okay.
Or borders Utah. So it's kind of in the same, like, similar-ish. Obviously, the States is huge. Anyway, he basically said that on the 5th of November in 1975 in Arizona, he was on his way back from his work with some co-workers. And I was watching, like, a couple Joe Rogan clips about this as well, and, like, reading into it. But basically, yeah, so he says he was on his way back. There were loggers, and on their way back, they saw some, like, eerie glow, yeah? Some eerie glow. Didn't really think too much of it, but then they were all kind of like, what the fuck is this, yeah? Anyway, they then get to, like, a clearing of, like, the woods, and they just fucking see this, like, flying saucer, basically, yeah? So as they see some flying saucer, it's, like, got this glow, and it's, like, making, like, a buzzing, basically. So Travis Walton, he gets out of the truck to go check it out. He gets closer, and he gets closer. And eventually what he says basically happens is this thing kind of starts moving. And
the saucer does?
Yeah. So then he's kind of like trying to get away. And I think he said he tried to jump for cover, but he ended up getting closer to it. And then he just said he like felt this like energy basically. And the next, like his co-workers saw him. They're like shouting like, come back. But by that point, they were like, they've got him, right? They then fucked off because they're fucking terrified. Next thing Travis Walton remembers is like waking up in like a hospital type room, seeing like these 3 bald creatures. He said he tried to like attack them and shit, but they weren't really like fighting him back. But he tried to fight them, and then basically he got like taken into another room where he blacked out. It was like basically 3 humans. They put like a plastic mask over his face. That's the last thing he remembers until all of a sudden he just remembers walking along a highway. Bro, he was missing for 5 days.
Fuck.
He was missing for 5 days, right?
Shit.
And he just remembers this flying saucer like disappearing above him. Bro, it's nuts, yeah, because everyone thought his co-workers murdered him. One of his brothers was convinced by it, went to go check the woods where they like hit him and stuff. Because he went missing for 5 days and 6 hours, yeah. Here's something else that's fucked. All of them, every single one of them did polygraph tests. Basically saying they saw this flying saucer. It's genuinely what happened. They all passed, except for one, and his test was inconclusive.
Shit.
But then obviously people are like debunking it and saying like, oh, like, you know, who knows whether you can believe it. I mean, one of them was like administered by like this tabloid newspaper, The Inquirer. And then another one was by some like ufologists, basically. But
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's like well known as like one of the most real
detailed accounts.
Yeah, man. And then I've seen some other shit of like some guy who sees flying saucers all the fucking time. He's got some on video, and then he like claims he's been like probed, and he said that there was like one time he like remembered getting abducted. He went to the hospital and they found something in his body, like a foreign object, and then like next thing he knows, it was just like it disappeared. It's like fucked, man. But yeah, then going back to this whole David GRUSCH thing, as you were saying. So what was he again? He was some military.
Yeah, so David GRUSCH basically was he used to work for the US government, and he worked for. What did he work for? So yeah, he works in the US government, and he's basically claimed that the US government has concealed evidence of a non-human craft from Congress. And he's basically filed a formal whistleblower complaint, and he's been on interviews with like the press and stuff. He's gone all out about it, and he's basically been saying that they've had stuff for decades, basically confirming Area 51, confirming that they've got like a UFO and that the government know about it. And I just thought it was interesting that at the same time this Las Vegas stuff happened like a week before all this David Grush stuff was happening. And this guy's a US official. Think about it, right? Why the fuck would David do this?
Risking his life, basically.
Risking, number one, his life. Number two, his career. Like, for him to lie, there's literally no reason why he would do that. There's no reason.
Do you know what else is fucked? Another intelligence officer, Jonathan Gray, backed him up.
Really?
Yeah,
What,
yeah.
recently?
Yeah. And
Shit.
said that the government does have intact non-human aircrafts or like materials or something, and saying that non-human intelligence phenomenon is a reality. I don't know if you've seen. So there was this whole thing that NASA did recently where they basically spoke about UFOs publicly because there was this, as we said, this whole public inquiry basically. So what's going on? They said, and this is believable in my opinion, they said there's 90, I think it was like 95% of them we can rule out as being like not UFOs. Like they're not like nothing special about them as such. We can probably work them out. You can explain them. They did say that there's 5% or something that they don't have an answer to.
Really?
And then there was this thing in the Middle East, which was kind of linked to this article I saw.
Yeah.
It was basically like the sphere. It was like a US UFO that just flew through the Middle East, yeah. Bro, it was nuts. NASA stated that the object had no enigmatic technical capabilities, but they still don't know what it is.
And it just flew through the Middle East.
Bro, it's mad. I'm going to send you the clip. I think it was captured by like a drone.
Really?
Okay, yeah. It was nuts, man. I got deep inside this rabbit hole. I'm not gonna.
Bro, you were in the rabbit hole.
In the rabbit hole, bro.
Shit.
Even this morning, I'm like watching TikToks about like the fucking whether the moon landing was a conspiracy and shit. But that's the topic for another time But it's all very interesting. So yeah, man. I don't know. There's some fucked up shit going on. I just want to find out in our lifetime.
I just want to know.
Do you know what I mean?
In our lifetime.
I think so.
I also think I just think if we were told about UFOs, I don't think people would lose their shit.
Nah.
Because I always feel like the sort of basis of it is, oh no, people are religious, and if they're told that like there's other life forms, and it kind of is almost like a threat to like Christianity or like like the world's becoming more and more secular. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
do you know what? I'd probably forget about it in 2 days' time if we found out that UFOs were here. And
I don't know if you would, man.
Actually,
I think
probably wouldn't.
nah, it would change the whole nature of things. I don't know. I saw this whole thing, which was like it was a Theo Von, Kyle Forgerard. Do you know Nelk Boys?
Yes,
the head of Nelk Boys, Kyle. He was on Theo Von's podcast. Anyways, they were chatting about some shit or the other. I forgot what it was. But Theo Von said something really interesting. He was like, he feels like the government is the US government is this whole front corporation LLC for like the big boys who are making money at the back of the scene. And it's like, theoretically, yeah, this is something Carl said, like, why couldn't there be aliens who already came and just coexist and basically just fucking tame the human population?
Fuck. What? I definitely think there was some kind of alien contact with the ancient Egyptians as well.
Nah.
No, it has to be. You must have seen the clips and stuff. Like, the pyramids don't make any sense of how they would have been made at that time.
Yeah, you're right.
Mathematically, and also in terms of like just technically how the fuck they made it.
Well, so there is this whole theory, of like, if the universe is so big and there is other life there, why haven't we found it yet? There's one theory which is to say that aliens came, looked at the Earth, they're like, there's nothing interesting going on here. Let's alert the troops and just no one come. It's fucking trash, fucked off, yeah? That's one of the theories. But like, obviously there's this whole like alien thing about with the pyramids, and I don't know. I spoke to my my future brother-in-law about it. He's a really smart guy. He just knows lots about random shit, and he made a good point. He's like, if there were aliens that had come to Earth, then like he explained it to me as there would basically be a bunch of like trash, like alien trash, like just shit that they would have brought to the Earth that we would have found at like in loads of other places. Right. Like, it's not just going to be in such a concentrated. And
maybe they recycled.
No, but do you know what I mean? Like, they're basically saying there'd be more evidence for it than just the pyramids. And I don't know. I believe in there was basically like an ancient civilization that was just super intelligent, that had methods, that got killed off before it kind of
it spread to other.
Yeah, exactly. Like potentially by like an ice age or some kind of catastrophic event which knocked out the majority of the population. That there were just methods that we don't don't understand, basically. And because we already know that people in ancient times were just experts at certain shit, like the ancient Greeks, man.
They knew how to do it.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Though,
Just
like
stuff.
I think they were just not smarter than us. We just had different methods. That's what I know. But I do definitely.
I'd love to just know. I just
No,
love
for
to know.
sure.
I want someone to just tell me,
Well,
aliens are real.
You know, if you could go. So I'll ask you this as
Go
well.
on.
But if you could go back in time to any life event,
In my life or in any life?
you can't go forward. You can only go back, right, to any period of history. So if you could go back in time to any period of history, we'll say for 10 years, doesn't age you. You're just going to watch.
10 years.
Yeah. Your life's not at risk. You'll be fine. You can interact with people, but you're not going to change the course of human history.
That's a really, really tough question.
You're just going to go. And the reason I say 10 years is because I don't think a day or a year is enough to learn enough back in those times. 10 years, you'll be fine. Nothing's going to harm you. You can interact with people. You can learn. There'll even be a translator for you or whatever. You'll just be able to understand people. They can understand you. Your life is not at risk. You won't get killed. You're not going to die. You're not going to get sick. You'll be fine. And you're not going to change the course of history. Where would you go back to? Because I've got two that come to mind, but you go first.
Number one is Egypt. Ancient Egypt. Just because I would love to just know how the fuck they did the pyramids. And also, it's just such a massive difference from, like, what we live now. It'd be fucking cool. Definitely that. And then maybe more like more recent, like in the last 100 years, like the 20s in New York or something would be quite cool. Just like, you know, that kind of vibe, like you're wearing the suits, you're drinking like whiskey, you're smoking in bars, like a jazz bar, like it'd be quite cool, you know? Like
you just want to speak in the accent, that's why.
Yeah. You want to go do? Hang out with the mobsters, you know?
Yeah. Okay, so mine, I think I've got
fuck,
three.
Actually, no, I've got one. Sorry, can I change mine?
Yeah.
My 1920s one. Fucking dinosaurs. Bro, I'd back dinosaurs.
Yeah.
If I'm not going to die.
Yeah. No, of course, bro. So that would say I've got three, and two of ours are actually the same. I've actually got loads, but if I had to right now, number one, 100% the pyramids. 100%.
Yeah.
By far, I need to see that shit. Yeah. Number two, in my head, the thing that came to mind, and it's interchangeable with number three, but number two, I'll say number three first because it's the same as yours, dinosaurs. I'd need to see how big these things were, and I'd need to see how big everything in the world was at that time, because you know everything was huge back in the day, like fruits, trees, bugs, all this shit was fucking huge. I'd need to see that. That'd be fucking cool.
Can you imagine the mangoes?
Yeah. Bro, trust. And number three, it's a weird one. I'd want to go back to around the time where Jesus Christ was said to be doing his miracles.
Oh shit, that's a good one.
Yeah, because I'd need to.
That is a good one.
I need to
know.
I'd need to know. No, like I'd need that number one. That like,
did he really turn water into wine?
Yeah. Well, no. I just want to see like who was documenting this shit as well.
Yeah.
Sorry, not shit. Not you get what I mean. The stuff that was going on. I'm not being disrespectful, but like who was documenting it? Like I need to know like where the stories came from. Like what the big deal was. Because even if he wasn't performing miracles, there was something special about this guy, clearly, if he's so documented in history. And not just in Christianity as well. In three different religions, he's documented. It's Islam as well, no?
Yeah.
Judaism. And
he's talking about like the prophet in general. Like
the prophet of Jesus, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about Islam, but...
Isn't it Muhammad, isn't it?
Well, there's a few. There's a lot of interlinking.
Crossover.
Yeah, there's a lot of crossover, actually. But yeah, no, so that would be my...
Those are good answers.
Thank you, man.
I feel like you want to do it in a time period where you're actually going to be like, just uncover a secret of the earth.
That's what I mean. It's something that we don't have certainty over.
Don't get me wrong, being in the 80s, in the disco times, it'd be vibes.
It would be vibes.
It wouldn't give me answers.
No, trust, man. That's recent enough. Like, there's pictures of that shit, you know?
No, completely.
I need to go back to a time where there's no pictures. To where it's all just theoretical.
Like dinosaurs, though. Do
you know what I mean?
Fucking, I was obsessed with dinosaurs as a kid. I was so gassed,
bro.
Apparently, they actually used to have feathers. Well, that's the thing that came out like 10 years ago. They were like, oh no, they actually like our understanding of what they look like is wrong. They actually had like.
Of course, it's wrong. All we've got is their skeletons.
Bones, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And people have assumed like the colours.
Yeah.
Like we could probably work out what shapes they were, but equally you don't know
could
what
have been bright pink. For all
do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They could have all just been like not colourful.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, they could have been all sorts, bro. Imagine they're probably like albino dinosaurs.
Yeah, shit.
Can you imagine the size of like a dino dick?
I love how your mind went there.
No, but I'm just curious, like,
how big was it?
Well, yeah, because like, bro, these things are fucking huge,
mate.
It's quite cool, like the idea of it.
And also just running away from them would be quite a bit of a thrill.
Trust
You know you're going to be fine. It'd just be funny. Like,
yeah. Well, just go piss a dinosaur off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
throw rocks at it and run.
Do you reckon dino milk tastes? Oh, obviously not. They did the eggs.
Oh, these eggs, yeah. Do you reckon eggs would be good? Dino eggs.
Dino eggs.
Scrambled
Bro,
dino
they'd
eggs.
be like the size of
Bro,
us.
imagine the macros.
Oh my god. Yeah, man, that'd be fucking cool. Cool, man. I've got one more thing that I wanted to bring up.
Go
on. And then we'll wrap it up. It's not new, but it's something I saw and it pissed me off, bro. It pissed me off. Mandem, I'm sorry to say, Doja Cat is dating. She's taken.
By who?
And I don't know, but that's the next guy, and it's looking kind of serious, and it pissed me off a little bit.
What's his name?
All right, so firstly, I'm heartbroken, obviously, because I fancy Doja Cat so much, man. She's so fit, and like, she's just the way she moves. She's a bit of a weirdo.
She's a bit weird.
Yeah, but I love it. But she's a bit too weird, actually. But nah, she's so bro. I fancy her so much. But yeah, secondly, this guy's actually quite low key. So his name is Jay Cyrus. He's an artist. He's like an R&B-ish artist. He's only got like 21k listeners on Spotify.
Jay Cyrus.
J.Cyrus and J.Cyrus. Quite low key. But yeah, man, I listened to his biggest song. It's about 3 million streams, just under. It's called Slowly Falling. Bro, it just sounded like Post Malone.
He's punching
massively. Yeah, I know, man. I know. Yeah, so it sounded better like Post Malone. And then he did this other song, which was also kind of big, I guess, from him, called Quick Fix. And it sounded exactly like Dominic Fike.
Really?
Yeah, exactly like it. And as you said, like, yeah, he's punching, man. But you know what? She does seem like the kind of woman to go for someone for, like, for vibes. And but my point is, Doja Cat, shout me, yeah? That's my point, because that's my toxic trait.
I've got stuff going on for me.
No, bro, trust. And I'm more handsome than this guy. But no, do you know what I've realised my toxic trait is? Yeah?
Go on.
Because I do genuinely believe I could get Doja Cat.
Doja Cat, I've got 1,300 followers on TikTok.
Nah, listen, one day we'll be mixing, we'll be rubbing shoulders with these lot. But yeah, man.
Jay, so I'm gonna check his music out. I like Post Malone. I like Dominic Fike, so I'll give it a listen.
You know what pissed me off is the fact that Doja Cat's so original and she went for someone who isn't original. I think
that's true. Actually, yeah, she's a really good. She's one of the best female.
Oh, she's so.
She can do all of it. She does the singing, but she also is like. I think she's really good at rapping.
So good at rapping.
So good. Yeah.
So good. And the way in which she uses her voice as well, I think, is very good. Like she's enunciates certain words to like really put emphasis, and then she kind of changes the pitch and kind of does more playful bits. And
she also just makes like fucking bangers. Incredibly catchy pop songs.
What's your favorite Doja Cat song?
I'm not like in the depths of her library.
Okay,
I just know the big hitters.
Okay,
go on, Kiss Me More.
Kiss Me More. Okay,
that's about it.
No, that's not that one.
Kiss Me More.
Oh yeah, okay, fine.
I think it's called Kiss Me More.
I think, yeah. That is one of her songs. It's a song called Juicy, which is banging. And yeah. But anyways, guys, that's the end of the episode. Thank you very much for tuning in, listening.
If you like this episode, follow us on Spotify, on YouTube, and if you like our short form content, you can follow us at Instagram or on TikTok at largerthanlife _LTL. Guys, we'll see you on the next one.
Thanks very much, guys.
Blood and diamonds, go and wear 'em.